Are you looking for an easy way to increase sales for your company or for yourself if you are a solopreneur? Today I will show you a simple strategy how to increase sales and get happier customers that love you and your product. And if you think that this video is not for you, what if I would explain to you how you can easily sell services to any company to launch and kickstart your own agency? Sounds good? Let's go. Hi, my name is Joram from successismade.com and drfunnel.com. I specialize in digital marketing, funnel building, and creating income streams online. So in this video, I'm going to explain what a consumption sequence is. Whether you actually produce and sell your own products or services, or even if you don't, you want to sell this actual concept as a service to your customers, as an agency or as a consultant. So let me explain. A consumption sequence. A better name for this actually is a consumption email sequence, because that's what it is. It's a specific email sequence that is designed to get people to consume, not just to purchase, but to consume your product or service. So let me explain with an example. Let's say that I have a very simple product to sell, soaps and shampoos, right? If a customer buys my shampoo, it is very clear how to use it. So this is what it looks like. A customer buys the shampoo, they actually use it, they buy it again, they actually use the product again, and you have this continuous cycle of this customer buying and using, buying and using, buying and using. That's really a consumption cycle over and over again. And the reason is simple, because a customer knows shampoo, knows how to use it, and they know that you can actually wash your hair with it, right? You have done it 1,000 times, you have done it 10,000s of times. You know exactly how it works. But let's say that I have a product that is a little bit less easy to use and that you have a less experience with as a customer. Let's take an example of my website, drfunnel.com. That's one of my websites where I sell consultancy services for building sales funnels and marketing funnels. And I do that for other businesses. And also on drfunnel.com, I offer a service where you can use software to plan your funnels. So you don't have to first build it and then just wait to see if it's actually successful, but you can plan it upfront and you can already make some simulations of the outcome of that specific funnel based on previous results. So if I have a really good working sales page and I get a customer to purchase this piece of software, right? So this customer buys my product. The next step is that if I don't explain how it actually works, that they might not even use it at all. So they buy it only to never use it again. A second scenario is that the customer actually buys my product, then use the product. And the next step is they use it only once, and afterwards they just either find a competitive product or something else that does exactly the same, or they're just not interested, right? They tried it and they didn't get it to work properly. So the sequence ends here. A third scenario is that a customer actually buys my product, then they actually use the product, they buy it again, they use it again, and they might buy it again and use it again and buy it again, etc., etc. But at a certain moment, the risk is there that a customer finds something else that either works better or that is heavily promoted and heavily marketed, and they find something else and stop using your product, right? And that's where the cycle ends. And this is what a consumption sequence, a consumption email sequence is designed for. So you have a product that you sell, and then you have an email sequence with information to help your customer to consume your product. And it sounds very simple, and it actually is. It can be very simple. So don't make it too complicated, but it is something that a lot of companies get wrong or don't do at all. They think if they have sold a product to someone, so after the conversion, that's the end of it, right? And then you have to work again to get a customer to buy. And I forget that an important step in that whole process of being successful and to get additional sales from that same customer and also to create fans is that you get the customer to actually use your product and use it properly. If you do that, you will see your sales skyrocket simply because you sell more products to the same customer And you have, as I just said, the opportunity to turn that customer into really a fan. Watch return sales go up lightning fast. This is all about existing customers who have already purchased, and you make them fuller, right? As we say, you make them buy more. You have the potential to turn them into a fan simply because you can excite them with content and information on how to actually use the product. So you get to communicate the full benefits of your product, or perhaps of your business, or as you as a person. You can reduce churn. So that means that if you have a subscription product or a product that you use regularly, you can get people on board and have them not leave you and go to either a competitor or just simply to stop buying. And the last benefit is that you can reduce returns significantly. And what I mean is, it happens to all of us. You purchase something, you tried it, and you didn't read the manual, and you think it doesn't work, and you send it back, only to find out later that you used it completely wrong, right? So you selling products, you can make a very big difference in this by using a consumption email sequence. If you like this video so far, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to Success is Made. I teach aspiring entrepreneurs with a daytime job how to create their own profitable online business towards financial independence. I upload a new video on one of my channels every single week, so make sure to follow. So what do you then communicate? So what information do you actually share in a consumption sequence? Well, it's the very simple things like standard way how to use. You recognize these emails. You purchase something and you get in your inbox information about how to actually use the product. It's very simple, very straightforward, and sometimes they are even more clever and more advanced and give you specific information based on how long you have that specific product and the cycle of usage of that specific product. So it's standard way how to use. There's also unusual ways how to use. And I give an example of something that we use here in the Netherlands. Right? You have these things that we put on our sandwich, right? It's almost like chocolate sprinkles. We're the only people in the world doing this, right? So it's quite weird, but actually we do it. And an unusual way for us how to use this would be to have this, which is called hagelslag, and put it on a cake or put it on something like a dessert. So it's not the original intent behind the product, but you can actually use it for that as well. For you, it would be exactly the other way around, right? You have sprinkles for your cake and you could put it on, or a suggestion to put it on your sandwich. Anyway, depending on the market. So that's an unusual way or different ways how to use it that your customers might not have thought of themselves. You can also share did you know about your company, about the product, anything to excite the customer of the purchase they just made. So the last example is information about the company or perhaps the mission that you have. Right? It might be that you, with the purchase of that customer, support some kind of good cause and that you want to share and make that person even more excited that he or she purchased your product. What is really important is that you have different people using your product or service in a different way. Right? So you need to obsess, as I say here, you need to really obsess and really know your product and understand the full usage cycle. And it can be that there are 10 different types of customers that use your product in a completely different way. And you need to understand the full cycle for all these 10 different customer types. And it can be that over time that you find out there's an 11th and that you go on and on. You need to know all of these because if you're going to send them emails, specific emails about the usage, and this customer uses the product in a different way and the usage cycle is different, you might be completely wrong by sending an email that completely misses the mark. So with my previous example of the shampoo, I could have a consumption sequence that is focused on getting my customers to wash their hair more often. So some people wash their hair every single day, some other people wash their hair every single week, right? And I could have an email sequence explaining to the specific customer group that it's better to wash your hair every 2 days or even every single day, right? Whatever information you have to support that claim. If you do that and you state all the benefits, that their hair will be healthier and all the other benefits, that is how this customer will be delighted with not only your product, but also with the way how you communicate about it. So obsess, really know your product and know the different usage cycles of the different customer types. And then you send reminders per step per usage category. So not all, as I just said, not all customers use your product the same way. Or some people really don't use it at all. So they purchase it and it they put it somewhere in a closet to never think about it again and to bin it next time that they run into it. So make that customer actually use what they have purchased. You have to get this right for every single customer or different customer group. It could be that you do not have your own product or your own service or your own company that actually does this, right? So you think, why is this relevant for me? Why is this video relevant for me? Well, because one thing I did in the past is actually sell these sequences to other companies. I didn't have my own company back then, or at least I had a kind of this solopreneur kind of company. And you can use this and create email sequences for other companies. If you go there and you say, if I create your consumption sequence, you will see your sales go up with whatever percentage, 5%, 10%, right? Even if they are hesitant to actually hire you, you could say, I only want to be paid if it actually works, right? So if sales go up with 5%, I want to have 50% of that additional sales or 25% of that additional sales. It's all additional revenue. It's all additional profit for that specific customer. So that means that they have actually nothing to lose. And you know, especially if they don't have any consumption sequence at all, you know that their sales will increase, right? It's not a guess. It's not a hope that sales will increase and that you don't do that work for nothing. If you agree on some kind of revenue growth, it is a certainty that it will grow. And what I wanted to say here is that many companies don't even know that a consumption sequence exists. So they think that the work stops after they have sold a certain product, right? And that the customer, the consumer always knows what to do with that specific product or service, but they don't. Many companies are simply not aware. Even if they are aware, they actively dislike doing this. They are focused on creating and producing products and to sell those products. They are not in the business of creating email sequences. And especially if you've done this a few times before, it gets easier and easier. And what I wanted to say with this image is that this can be the start of your online business. This can be the start of either your consultancy business or of your digital marketing business. The investment is next to zero. The risk is next to zero. And it's often the case that the company that you worked for recommends you to other companies to do exactly the same. Because many entrepreneurs know a lot of other entrepreneurs that you can do the same work for. Do you see how powerful this is and how this could work for you? So let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts and also how you could use this to build your own business or to accelerate your business. If this video was helpful for you, please let me know in the comments and consider subscribing to Success is Made. If you sign up for my newsletter, you join the community of VP entrepreneurs and you get free tips and tools to start and grow your online business. If there is something you want me to cover in a new video about starting your online business, please let me know. Thank you so much for your time and hope to see you here again. To your success. Bye.